Hello, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and I'm back at you again after a wee break. Thank you for all those who waited patiently, and for all those new subscribers that I haven't met yet. Hopefully, now this week you'll make a wee comment, and I'll be able to let me know that you're new, and I can welcome you on a one-to-one basis. And thank you for joining. Now, I've had a week off, and to be honest with you, I needed it. I enjoyed it, and I said I wouldn't come back till I was ready. I got my passion back, and my passion's coming back greatly. Um, and I've had a lovely surprises when I've been away. I've had a couple of new knives come in. I still have quite a few to do reviews on, and they're all really sort of budget knives. There's no really high price knives to do reviews on, all sort of budget knives. But what I have got is more sharpening stones. I won one of Jeff Jewell's competitions. By default, the winner didn't collect his prize. I had missed it, and then I was just checking on. I was just having a wee check. This was days later, and Jeff done a redraw, and I managed to win it. So I was over the moon, and it cost a man a fortune to send them from America, for which I am eternally grateful. As you know, me and Jeff have gone. I've known him since I came around. He's been commenting on my channel, and he's taught me and helped me to. Well, he gave me the confidence to hand sharpen. And watching him, I have literally copied him. I maybe don't do it the same as him because I'm just not as good, but I'm not frightened anymore, and that was through his help and encouragement. So to get stones from him means an awful lot. So look forward to them coming up. I'll show them later on this week, and then I'll do. I'm going to do a complete video. I have a video to do on them. I've also a video to do on an Arkansas stone. I'll be doing that this week at some stage, and then Jeff's I'll maybe do next weekend because it'll be a bit longer because it's 3 stones. So now, what have I got in front of you? I've got a Ganzo Challenger, and as you know, anybody that's on my channel knows I love my Ganzos, and this is a Ganzo Challenger. It's made with a Kuto 440, Japanese 440, which they say is something similar to 440C. Yes, I think it is somewhere around. I think it's a bit below it, but I do think it is in and around that. So it's a budget steel, and it's good, and it's easy to sharpen, and it's easy to strap back to a sharpen after you've used it. Aesthetically, I think it's one of the prettiest knives for its price. Now, this is Tangram, which is Kaiser's cheap brand, and by cheap I don't mean not much good or budget. This is a good knife, full stop. Exactly the same thing that I say about Ganzos. It is a lovely knife, and I have nothing really bad to say about it. It's a bit slippy. That's about it. But it's an aluminium, so it's I was going to say it's light, but it's not as light as I thought it might. Look, let's do measurements. We'll get this out of the way first. So it's got just under 4 inches of a handle. It's got just under 3 inches of a blade. It's got a cutting edge of about 2.75 inches. In the European measurement, it's about 17 centimeters long, and it is about just over 7 centimeters of a blade. And again, it's just, what is that? It's just about 9.5 centimeters. Is that 9.5? Aye. 9.5. I hate centimeters. 9.5 centimeters in the handle. Lengthwise, sorry, in inches, it's just about 7.75 inches. So, nice wee blade. What's it like across the spine? It's just a very, as you can see, I'll take my wee magnet off. Across the spine, I would say it's about 3 mil, if it's anything. Let me see, get up the... It's just on something, yeah. It's about 2.5 mil. And across the back of her, she is about 12 mil, so she's about half an inch, just under half an inch across the back of her. So very average sort of a weight and size, but perfect. This is my perfect EDC size. Now, let's see what weight she is. Now, what's going to come up first? It's going to come up in ounces. So, ounces, it is 3.3, which is quite heavy, I think, for a small aluminium handle, but you get a good whack of blade on there anyway. Now, let's change that to grams. It's 94 grams. There we go. Now, let's have you a wee walk around the knife. Has she got liners? She has. And look, you can see the liners in there. Top and bottom are both milled. And they're good solid liners. So that's a fair... That's going to keep you weight up a bit. But it's only just over 3 ounces, for goodness sake. If you can't carry that, this guy keeps saying you really want to get another hobby. Like mushroom collecting or something. So, the nice thing about this is it isn't just an ordinary, everyday little knife. It's a beautiful shape. It's got what I would class, you know, the hinder slicer blade. So it makes it a nice slicer. It's got a hollow grind, thin behind the edge. I find it really good slicer. I don't know the measure. I don't measure that. That doesn't really bother me. I just want a knife to cut things, and this does, and it slices things really nicely. It's a lovely, lovely blade. The markings on it, you've got the little Tangram logo there, and it's got Japanese Akudo there. Very small. It's nice. I like the way they have it done. And then it's the name of it. It's Vectra. And Kim Ning, who's the designer. So, beautifully done. I have to say, it is beautifully done. Now, it is a bit slippy. It's not the most grippiest, I would have to say, but it's not dangerous. In my hand, I have a medium to large hand. I can get 4 fingers. I can also sneak up on this. I don't think it's particularly meant to be, but I can quite comfortably and quite safely, and have used it to cut cardboard like that when I do want that extra bit of purchase. So, nice thumb studs on it, left and right. It's got a tip up left hand side only, I'm afraid. You have a lanyard there, and the reason that it's only is because it's a button lock. Isn't that nice for a company to come out with another locking mechanism that we're starting to see more of now? Now, this took a wee while to blend in. I didn't take it apart, but I did oil it a couple of times and work it through, and it's now starting to become fall shutty. It's getting better, and it will only get better. So, now, I have another knife that is in the budget range that is a button lock, and that is this. This is my Flash Gordon knife, as I call it. It's a CRKT Titak 2. So, but as you can see, size-wise, it is a fair bit bigger. We're talking 1.25 inches bigger than the Tangram, but they're around the same price. This Tangram I bought for £26 on AliExpress, or $26 actually on AliExpress. I think this is somewhere around 30. So they're in that same price bracket. Now, this has 8CR13 as the steel, but in my opinion, I think the CRKT's got a better solid feel to it and a much better button lock. But I'm not going to knock this because it was only $26. I think that's in the 30s. So it still works, and I think it will get better, if that makes any sense. I do think it will get better. Now, you have a couple of little standoffs there at the back. Everything's nicely done about it. There's nothing I can find fault, as in everything's sort of chamfered off. There's no hot spots on it. It's a nice little pocket clip. It's not deep, but it's, you know, it's not bad. When it's sitting in your pocket, you see about that. So your lanyard's just above the pocket. But nicely done. It's a wee, just a spring clip. And it's a strong spring clip, so it stays in your pocket well. Torx construction all the way through, and I say that 440 Akudo steel is definitely somewhere in the range of 440C. I think maybe just a wee bit less, but I'm only guessing, to be perfectly honest. So, what's it for? This is an EDC knife, a perfectly sized EDC. It's small enough that it fits in your pocket and you don't think about it, but it's bulky enough and it's stocky enough to do anything you'd want to do on an average EDC day. You could carry this and carry a smaller knife. I often just carry a little small slip joint with me, and that would do most of the mucky work, and I'll leave this as my main blade. But I think aesthetically they have hit it on the head. I think it looks beautiful. I would have liked maybe a bit more grip on the texture. That's my only complaint. If it was a wet day, I wouldn't particularly fancy, because I would want to creep up and well, don't know. But I'm not going to knock it, because I have used this one over a week now. Over a week, and I can honestly say that this is a beautiful knife, and for $26 it is a stunning knife. It really is. And its competition is the Ganzo 440C. Now, there's a Ganzo 440C about the same size, but aesthetically that'll beat it hands down. I just think that is a lovely looking knife. This is like a bird sort of copy type thing. 440C, it's a great blade. It's a backlock. It's not as fidget friendly as this is, but it's got the same materials, just hasn't got that playability with it. But this only costs about £9, $10 basically. That's all this costs. Now, if I was to go to another Ganzo, I'm going to end up going up above it now, because this is the... Oh, I'll take this out of the way. This is the Ganzo, the new Ganzo out, the F21. And this is a bit bigger. It's about the same weight, to be honest with you. But this is D2, so I can't really compare it to this. But to be fair, I mean, comparing it to that's not a bad comparison, because it's both. This also works as an EDC knife. This has got 440C, but the same blade stock on it. Very comfortable in hand, good sneak up choil, perfect little EDC knife. And this is for light EDC. I'm not going into any heavy EDC. I showed you the CRKT, which I do believe the mechanism is better, to be honest with you. The CRKT feels solid compared to this. Now, here's another one that is very much in the size and shape even. And this is the Steel Will Cut Jack. And it's roughly the same size, about maybe a quarter of an inch bigger. But it has D2, but it also has FRN. Now, this is in the 30s to buy. So, where have Kaiser come in with this knife? To be honest with you, Kaiser have cracked it. Kaiser have come in at the perfect price point for the steel that they put on it, for the work that's gone into the knife. I think they have come in at a perfect challenge to Ganzo buyers. Now, you wouldn't hear me saying that. Now, saying that, for the exact same price, I can buy this G10 D2 Ganzo. And would I buy that over that? Not necessarily, is the honest answer, because aesthetically, I think they've done such a lovely job of that. Well, I wanted it, so I paid for this. This is out of my own money. So, I mean, the Ganzo is a lovely knife, and it's a better steel, and you'll get a wee bit longer out of the daily use on it, but this doesn't look as good as this. This, because of the small blade, it's nice to bring out in front of people if you're in an office. It looks nice, it looks shiny, there's different colours. I just think it is stunning. And I think Kaiser and Tangram have just done a great job and brought it in, good price point, aesthetically much more attractive than that. Although I like the blade shape better than that. This would be more of a working knife than this. This is be one to show off to your friends. But I just wanted to put, this is your options. The other option size-wise is probably, let's put this down here, because this size-wise is more of a comparison. Not that much of a difference in price, but you get D2 in this, but you get the aesthetics of a nice aluminium frame that's got design on it against a plastic handle. So the choice is open, I suppose, what I'm trying to say. You pick what you want to use. Do you want a work knife or do you want a pretty knife? And if you work in an office, what's wrong with having a nice pretty knife that's not going to put people off, not going to scare them, and they're going to say, oh, that's a really nice knife. And what a way to get somebody in. What a gift knife to give to somebody to get them started. You know, somebody showing interest, and I love people when they show interest, but how nice would it be to hand that knife over? You know, it is lovely. Yes, by all means, you can hand over a little £9 Ganzo, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great knife, but it doesn't look appetising, does it? You know, it doesn't look like a bit of steak. It looks like a sausage. That was really maybe not a good analogy, but you could give them this Ganzo, and this would be as good as. But again, I think for prettiness, for somebody starting out, for the likes of me, I just enjoyed this carrying this knife full stop, and I enjoyed getting it out. So that's it. Do I recommend it? 100%. I'd say the where I bought it was AliExpress. I'm not sure where else. I think it's bought in other places, but I'm not sure. That's just where I got mine. And at that price, I was quite happy to wait. It came within 2 weeks. I was quite happy with the price, the weight. I didn't have to pay any delivery. So, highly recommend it. I think it's a lovely knife. And as far as footering goes, I think the button lock is one of the nicest to get hold of. It really is. Flicks out lovely there. So, there we go. I'll give you one wee last look. I think the blade shape is lovely. There's a small recurve in it, but it's nothing that's going to worry you. I've been stropping this. I haven't need to sharpen it because the strop brought that slicer grind straight back in again. And I'm saying slicer for maybe those that don't know. This is a hinderer, and this is the hinderer. Now this is the hinderer slicer blade. Can you see the angle that it goes up here? And what Kaiser have done is that as well. So it gives the blade great ability to go through things. You have the thick at the top, narrow at the bottom. You can slice. It is beautiful. So that's taken from a much dearer knife, a hinderer, and they've executed it perfectly in this cheaper version, the Tangram. So, I hope you go out and buy it because I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. There's nothing bad about it at all. Again, it was a bit stiff, but I've heard other people getting a drop shutty from the start. Wasn't my experience. It was a wee bit stiff, but as I put oil in it, it's getting better and better by the day. You know, it's easy now. I wouldn't have any worries, and it's enjoyable to play with. So, I'm repeating myself, haven't I? You can tell I haven't done it for a week. Sorry about that, folks. Take care. I'm away for a wee cup of tea, and thank you very much for watching. Bye now. Cup of tea!